Welcome. Greetings from the most reliable news show in the world. How is the CrossFit Open doing? How is it doing? How are the signups? Over 230,000 human beings signed up. Minus, 229,995 because of the fake names that Andrew Hiller signed up under. But you get the deal. It's a lot of people. But here's the part that really excites me. 70,000 of those people who have signed up for the CrossFit Open, the 2024 CrossFit Open, are part of the Service Open. Those are firefighters, police, teachers, doctors. Huge numbers. And those are just the ones that check the box. Talk to the base, people. Talk to the base. I love it. More on those numbers to come. It's not just me. It's not just Athena. It's not just Alexis. It's not just Haley Adams. Everyone wants to get in on blowing Andrew Hiller. Everyone's starting to get in line to give Andrew a standee. Here we go. The great Vikey. The guy who makes media for the rest of the world. The gentleman. The HWPO whisperer. The Matt Fraser whisperer. The guy that can do no wrong. Even he is going to tell us that taking the vaccine was a mistake. No, sorry, that hating Andrew Hiller was a mistake. Here we go.
When I first stumbled across Andrew Hiller, when he came on my YouTube feed one day, and I watched a bit of his video, I thought, this guy is an absolute muppet, you know?
Great line, right? Absolute muppet. I love it.
And I'm going to be honest, I did. And I remember thinking, good on you for trying, but it's not going to last, you know? And here we are, a few years later, and Hiller has just put out one of the more amazing videos I've seen in the CrossFit space.
God, this guy is good. You can't take your eyes off this guy. The media page is Vykie Etzebeth, Wykie. Engaging voice, look, personality. Always has good videos. You feel better. It's like listening to Eckhart Tolle. This guy's like a walking self-help book just listening to his voice. Anyway, even he's getting in line to blow Andrew. Get behind me, buddy. But good. It's always nice when your peers from around the world are recognizing your great work. Speaking about recognizing your great work, all of us get validation from something. Well, not all of us. Just sorry. Let me take two. Those of us who are really insecure need external validation. And what better than was the moment on yesterday's show when the co-founder and owner of Rogue Fitness came on the show, Katie Henniger.
Have you watched the behind the scenes?
Yes, I have watched the behind the scenes.
Oh, good job.
She has watched the behind the scenes right there. Like my whole self-worth. I have a cold. It probably got shortened by 2 days just by that confirmation.
I can't believe you have free time for that. You just watch that when you're sitting on the toilet on your phone, or?
Mix it in when I'm doing some work, have it in the background.
All right, good.
You did a good job on that.
The richest person in CrossFit still has time to watch the behind the scenes. Thank you. I'm validated. There's nothing you can say to hurt my feelings unless you see something like this. How are we supposed to compete with this? Coffee Pods and Wads, Pedro White, coming to you from the island of Ireland, gets the interview of 2024 with Tia Claire Toomey Ur. Mother, best CrossFitter who ever lived, making a comeback, which I've said is impossible, but she's going to do it. Tomorrow, 12 noon. That's February 29th at 12 noon. I was going to do a show at noon. No way am I competing with this. Tomorrow's going to be a crazy day, people. Crazy day. Crazy day. We'll talk more about why tomorrow's crazy too. Make sure you check this out. Pedro White. Go over to the Coffee Pods and Wads YouTube station. Click notifications. Subscribe. Get all that shit. Pedro is really, really good. The people going on to his show always leave there loving Pedro. He's patient. He doesn't interrupt his guests. He's provocative without being a crass douche. It's exciting that Tia is coming on there, and that invalidates the fact that I was validated earlier that I didn't get Tia. Put me on suicide watch. How am I supposed to compete? Now here, I mentioned to you about tomorrow being a crazy day, Thursday being a crazy day. And here's why. We're not really sure what the fuck is going on, but there's an open workout that CrossFit's going to announce tomorrow. So that's what we need to get from CrossFit Inc. What time that's going to happen, we don't know. Originally, we thought it was going to happen at 11 a.m. Now here it says 11:15 a.m. And now we're hearing rumblings that it might not be till 12 noon. There are, I think, 3 different workouts. There's a workout actually happening today as you're watching this. And then there's a workout which is Wednesday. And then there's actually a workout that's happening Thursday. And we might get to see that at 11:15, but we're not sure. And then finally after that, then there's the open workout. So they kind of got us on a leash. They got me on a leash. I'm like swinging from it. The 2024 CrossFit Open kicks off this Thursday with a throwdown between 4 CrossFit Games competitors for top scores and a Rogue Fitness Golden Bar. And you know, you see who the people are: Adler, Guzan, Fikowski, and Raptis. And then before this show, and the most important part here, around 10:50 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, I will go live. The 7 podcast will go live as a pre-show to their pre-show, and it will have J.R. Howell, Andrew Hiller, and John Young. And we'll be making up all sorts of shit to talk about. So make sure you check that out. And then after that, here's going to be the weird part. As they do the if the announcement's really at 1 and the work or at noon, and the announcement's really at noon, then Pedro will be going with Tia. And then Get With The Programming has a show at 1:45. But then I also have a test show, face-off show between Taylor Self and Dallin Pepper for the Born Primitive CrossFit Open, which is Taylor Self versus the World, which will be in Charlotte on Friday. And then Thursday is our pre-show. Oh, it's a mess. But you got to stay close to your YouTube to I mean, I'm in charge and I can't even understand the riddle that is the schedule. Not the first time. No, sorry. Not the last time that the CrossFit Open no, sorry. Take 3. Not the last time you'll be seeing Mayhem talked about in this show, but the first time. CrossFit Mayhem has put out a second documentary in the Heart of Mayhem series, the Heart of Mayhem 2, Summer Story, a CrossFit documentary, already 8,000 views. This is a wonderful, wonderful piece.
On my knees.
I watched the first 15 minutes twice, and then I watched the whole thing through once. A great ending that climaxes in this young lady doing the open, but a great story for everybody. If you are a CrossFitter, you want to be a CrossFitter, you have someone you want to get into CrossFit, you really want to check this piece out.
In a row. To me, fitness is being able to like lift your kids. It's being able to do your laundry, bring in your groceries, and doing a push-up is like a functional movement of like upper body strength, being able to hold. I mean,
you're going to hear from a lady who's lost family members to obesity, to heart attacks, to chronic disease, to bad lifestyle choices, and her determination and her conviction in not wanting to go down that same path and to want to spend time with her children and to want to be there for her husband. And it's her looking back at her 2-year journey with CrossFit to get her where she from where she started to where she is now. I love the story. Thank you, Mayhem, for continuing to be the gold standard in CrossFit media. Tyson Bagent, a regular on the 7 podcast, quarterback of the Chicago Bears. Yeah, I'm bragging. His dad, one of the greatest arm wrestlers who ever lived, gave a speech last week, after winning Travis Bagent, Tyson's dad, won an arm wrestling tournament. And here, if you listen carefully, you can see where Tyson gets his amazing confidence from. Travis Bagent last week after winning an arm wrestling tournament.
I'm the strongest man in the world. I apologize to everyone. I was nervous today. I could beat these fucking guys if I was asleep. I cannot believe that I am as talented as I am. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the champ of the world, or at least Martinsburg.
God, I would love it if Jeffrey Adler gave that speech when he won the CrossFit Games. What a fantastic acceptance speech after winning an arm wrestling tournament in some town in the middle of nowhere. Excuse me, America. It's wartime again. It happens every once in a while. You fuck with the bull, you get the horns. Let's take a look at Dave Castro's Instagram from yesterday. This is his story. We're getting to it. Now, I don't know the exact backstory, but something happened. And Rich's dad, Rich Froning Sr., posted something somewhere that Dave is reacting to. And Dave writes in his story with a video that we're about to watch from the Froning podcast. Dave writes, "But Mr. Froning, we should watch this trash to understand what their intent is." And when Dave says this trash, he's referring to the Froning podcast. So here we go. So that is the head of the CrossFit Mayhem media team, Scott Vandersloot, a fantastic guy, a great filmmaker, and he's frustrated and expressing his frustration on the Froning podcast, and he has some harsh words for Dave and CrossFit. Now, here's the thing. Whether you agree with them or not, they fired shots. Then they made a reel of it. Now, Dave's seen that reel. They've amplified this message to the world, not only through the podcast, but then through through a reel. And now Dave has responded, and things are getting heated. We have seen this year from Don Fall and Dave Castro many times in the last few months that CrossFit's just about had it, and they're going to start biting back. And what I find interesting is there were some videos that I think Rich from the Rich's podcast in the past, where Rory and Rich and the others were pontificating about, we're glad Dave's back, but we hope it's a gentler, softer Dave, or a Dave that's not going to slap people down for expressing their opinions. Well, they expressed their opinion, and now Dave's slapping them down a bit. But what do you expect? You had the CF affiliate guy, Frankie, got slapped around. You had the other guy, another affiliate, got de-affiliated for being rude to one of its country managers. There's things happening. There's things happening. And when you're going to have strong leadership, there is going to be friction with the herd. The herd needs to know its boundaries, and Dave's letting it be known. And I'm really enjoying it. And that's the news.